Garden's much prettier, don't you think? I bet the memories are all flooding back now.
Ah, the best place for reading. My mother liked the story of David and Goliath. She said it doesn't matter how small you are, you can always overcome any obstacle. I imagine Goliath was surprised to find out his lady was not real.
Hey, is anybody at home? Hello? You know, I envy you, Sherry. You can talk to other people and they won't ignore you.
And I envy you. You can ignore any person you're bored with. You don't miss out on much. Most men are dull, unlike yourself.
Well, I'm flattered.
This portrait was painted some time before my father's death. I would guess it's the only depiction of him that remains. I had a surprise for my mother. You had a shovel with you, John. I was holding an ancient Greek vase, or rather, quite a big piece of it. I remember now, we dug up the vase from Greek ruins here on Cordona, and were eager to show my mother right away. Another one. For some reason, the door was closed. We knocked.
But nobody answered. We thought that she was busy.
So we left the vase and ran downstairs. I decided to gather some archaeological tools in order to take a closer look at the vase.
But then we heard something, didn't we?
Yes. It came from upstairs.
The vase was broken, shards scattered all over the floor. And your mother was standing at the door.
Indeed, John. I doubt it was her. Let me concentrate. Otto Richter was standing there, furious at us. Dr. Richter told us never to disturb my mother when the door is closed. He said she had broken the vase.
But we didn't believe him. I bet he smashed it. Her things are still here.
Presumably Mycroft never felt the need to sort through it all.
Or couldn't bring himself to.
No. He would have put it behind him and moved on. My brother is not one for sentimentality. Looks like it was damaged by a blunt object.
Look what I found. The White King is under attack. Sherry, can you save him and checkmate the opponent in one move? You're not obliged to be here, Sherry. We can leave any time you want. Sure, you saved the king, but that's no checkmate, Sherry. You're losing your touch. You're not obliged to be here, Sherry. We can leave any time you want.
My mother loved flowers. They made her smile. I remember we would bring a new bouquet every week to make her a bit happier.
That's why we collected all the violet flowers we could find on the island.
It's a strange feeling to read about my father's death in the newspaper. I can't recall anything except the deep feeling of loss.
You were too young. It happened before we even met. It's so sad. I'm sorry.
This room always reeked with an acrid medicinal stench. And here is the reason. No labels. I doubt it ever had one. There appear to be residues of the bottle's contents at the bottom.
Do you think the doctor could have used these tools here? I hope not.
This picture was drawn by my mother. I recognize her hand. There's a date on it, 8th of December, 1868. This seems a bit odd. I can recognize my mother's style, but it's far too sloppy. Dated 12th of February, 1869. It's difficult to tell what this is meant to represent. There's no date at all. Straps on the bed. Just doesn't look right. Seems this was the most frequently used medication. 1 dram dissolved in a glass of water administered daily, not to exceed 1 dose in 24 hours, not to be given to children. Oh, it brings back some memories.
Oh, I would love to take a bath right now.
Not this one. Surface corrosion suggests it was prone to extreme temperature fluctuations. For medical purposes, I suppose. This seems a bit odd. I can recognize my mother's style, but it's far too sloppy. Dated 12th of February, 1869. This picture was drawn by my mother. I recognize her hand. There's a date on it, 8th of December, 1868. Mother was troubled that morning. Something we did upset her. Dr. Richter tried to calm her down. We had to put the tray with Mother's morning tea down, but why? The broken plate shards were all over the floor. Mycroft had to change his suit as the one he was wearing was completely stained. It's starting to ring a bell. I think it happened in the morning.
don't believe you! Liars! Get away from me! It's not true! It's not real!
What? Oh.
Everything will be okay, Sherry. I promise.
It was the morning of the 9th of April, the day my mother died. My mother, she was not just ill, but mad. God have mercy.
I'm sorry. That explains why you locked the memory away.
There must be more, John. That was the morning of her death. I need to know what happened. John!
Every time you... I just don't... Please, Sherry, leave it be.
Just breathe, John. You know that I cannot leave the last stone unturned. We are so close.
I know. But can we at least leave it for another day?
Well, history tells us these memories are triggered by our investigation of other matters. I suspect it could not be forced even if I so desired.
Thank you. How are you feeling about all this? Tell me, I'm not the only one reeling.
It feels wrong, sad. Like they're the memories of another man. I'm struggling to reconcile my love for my mother with the reality of who she was. And worse, what possessed Mycroft to lie about it? There are precious few pieces of this puzzle remaining, John. Let us dawdle here no longer.
Indeed. Wait, did you hear that?
Yes. Metallic souls. What is this sailor doing here?
Sherlock Holmes, isn't it? I was looking for you.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
You can call me your new game. The rules are simple. I have something for you, but you alone must work out what that is.
And that something is my prize, I suppose?
You're a fast learner, sir.
I cannot believe that Mr. Vogel has somehow successfully called my attention to his gallery. You're here with an invitation to visit it, obviously.
My word, you are fast, Mr. Holmes. Could you explain how you came to that conclusion?
Of course. Explanations are my favorite part of any conversation. Hands without any sign of regular physical activity, in contradiction to one who would most usually wear such a uniform. The paint in your hair is pink. I don't know of any military service that paints their ships pink, unless they have launched a new fashionable fleet. A sailor with the soul of an artist? I would suggest rather a gallery employee disguised as a sailor to mislead me. How many artists on the island know where I live and of my passion for deduction? Werner Vogel is clearly at the top of the list. And you've been attempting to conceal something square-shaped within your pocket. An invitation, I suppose. An invitation to Mr. Vogel's gallery.
That was remarkable, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Vogel was right about your genius. I think he may have even underestimated you. This is your invitation. Please tell Mr. Vogel that the seed has been planted. He asked me to tell you to do so, if you win this little game. Farewell.
Home sweet home, Sherry.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes, I presume.
Correct. With whom do I have the pleasure?
Emilio Esteva, happy to make your acquaintance. I am here on behalf of Mycroft, your brother. He's on his way to Cordona. In the meantime, he requests your assistance with a sensitive matter. My orders are to provide you with the details.
You have my attention, Mr. Esteva.
Mark Ridley, the son of General Arthur Ridley, is being blackmailed. Suffice to say, the compromising material is of a delicate nature. The matter is of no small importance to the Crown, especially given the status quo on Cordona.
What about the status quo?
The Ottoman population holds a certain animosity towards the colonial rule. It's been this way since we took over the island. General Ridley made concessions with their leaders, but I'm afraid we are still teetering on the edge of open hostility.
What does Mycroft want me to do? Retrieve the blackmail material?
No, sir, nothing of the sort. Mark Ridley is meeting the blackmailer atop the old city bridge tower. You shall observe from a distance, then establish the blackmailer's identity. Do not attempt to arrest him. We'll handle it from there.
Saving the best for yourself? Fine.
There is a cafe just over the bridge that provides a good vantage point. Please report to me when you are done. I'll be waiting for you here, and remember, discretion is of the essence.
Ah, yes. We were sword fighting in this very spot.
And that time, I was the winner.
So, as your victory prize, you asked me to fulfill a wish. I remember we did something the very next night, John, but what was it? We brought a cage with us. You insisted it must be made of iron.
That's because we were preparing to hunt fairies in our garden. Everyone knows iron is the only thing that can hold them.
And I was distinctly uncomfortable.
It was a disguise, of course. Fairies are easy to scare off, unless you're incognito.
And every trap needs bait. We brought honey and a glass of warm milk.
After 2 hours lying in wait, we noticed movement in the bushes. The fairies appeared at last.
No, it was just Isolde the pig. She was lured by the smell of honey and milk, and ate every last drop. Isolde belonged to Mr. Sim in Miner's End and escaped regularly. At least twice a month we would see him searching for her all over the island. Best place for reading.
Adopted! Again! The killer elephant Goliath has been adopted by Fergus Tailheart and can breed on Cordona.
Interested in some Cordona news? Check the front page. You won't regret it. All the newspapers are sold out.
having deja vu. This house seems so familiar. I'm having deja vu. This house seems so familiar.
Greetings. Would you be here about my violin by any chance?
I am. I saw from your posters that it was stolen. The name is Sherlock Holmes.
Very pleased to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I'm Anthony Jones. But by the sounds of it, you haven't seen my instrument, alas. But if there's anything you can do to help locate it, I'd be most glad.
Just tell me exactly what happened. How was your violin stolen?
Some needy soul broke into my home while I was out. The only thing of value they took was the instrument.
Did you report the theft to the police?
I did, but they dismissed it as petty theft. Don't get me wrong, I don't blame them. They certainly have more important matters to deal with.
It would be another crime if I let some petty thief get away with your beloved violin. Let me help you find it.
Oh, thank you very much. I cannot tell you how grateful I am. Oh, come inside, I'll show you everything. Feel free to look around.
The door was kicked in.
We could bake apples here, or smoke a duck. Ooh, or make pizza. Do you like pineapple?
This cover is dusty. It hasn't been taken off for a long time.
Feel free to look around.
Clumsy of a thief to cut himself on the glass he just broke. The thief left the bow. I suppose he prefers pizzicato. The jagged bottle reeks of cheap whiskey. An utterly useless theft deterrent for a glass display case. The scrap of fabric is covered in white stains. Nothing was taken except for the violin. How odd. These are intricate pieces of music, quite beautiful if my sight reading holds true. I see you've received many accolades.
Ah, those are from a long time ago. I used to perform a lot in my youth.
I can't hear anything. Has it got strings?
Anything else you'd like to know?
You weren't here when the burglary happened, correct?
I was tending to my wife's grave at the cemetery. I was only gone a few hours and locked the door before leaving.
Does anyone else live here?
No. My dear Emily died long ago. And God never blessed us with children. I used to give music lessons, but nobody visits me anymore. It is all so unfortunate.
Fresh fruit. Freshy, fleshy, fresh.
May I ask you something?
Sounds familiar, but no. Ask someone else.
The trail stops here among the waste.
Hello, sir. Would you like some fruit? Fresh from the orchard?
I'm not hungry, but I'm looking for a violin that was stolen. Any chance you saw someone with one?
Oh, yes, I did. It was sailors, sir. And they were very good customers. They ate lots of fruit, and said that my donkey looks like their friend. A Lieutenant Sean.
A lieutenant. Did you see where they went?
No, sorry, sir. I was helping other buyers. Oh, and sir, the sailors also took my donkey. So I guess they weren't very good customers. They promised to return him, but they didn't come back. My father will kill me if he finds out. So I'm still waiting here for them.
Do you know Anthony Jones, the musician? He lives nearby.
Of course. Mr. Jones is very kind. He never barters. Funny you ask.
I'm yet to crack a smile, so pray tell.
Well, the first time they came by, the sailors mentioned something about music, so I told them Mr. Jones can teach them how to play. Wait, so what is his violin? Oh.
You couldn't have known they would steal from the old man. Fortunately, you made up for it with your testimony. I'll find them and your donkey soon enough. Stay put. May I ask you something?
Listen, friend. I like your face. I'll tell you.
Someone must have seen where they took it. It's a donkey, for heaven's sake.
The donkey was being stubborn, but so were they.
There we are. The first lead in our asinine chase. Oh, this must be Lieutenant Sean. The sailors couldn't get him inside the tavern.
Don't forget to point the boy to his donkey on our way back. Don't forget to point the boy to his donkey on our way back.
Good grief, those drunks are wreaking havoc in there.
Help me, please.
I'd help you, friend, but I know nothing.
I'll cover you, partner.
Wanna kick us out? Like hell.
I thought we were against murder.
Too simple. No more crime for you until next month.
The snuff's ready.
Eat lead. Dodge this.
Too simple.
Give him the pepper snuff.
No more crime for you.
The snuff's ready.
Don't cry, you'll live.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Couldn't miss the party.
Too simple.
The snuff's ready.
I'm coming for you.
No?
Give him the pepper snuff.
Don't cry.
The snuff's ready.
No more crime for you.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Well, they left me no choice. I think I might be nearing intoxication myself just from the smell of them. The maker's stamp suggests it was made by a student of Pressender. Quite a lovely instrument.
And somehow, after all the mayhem, it's still in one piece.
I found your donkey. It's not far from here, outside the Wet Whiskers Tavern. You'd better go after it before someone decides to borrow it again.
Thank you, sir. I'll be quick as a flash. Hey, Yusuf, please look after my cart, okay? And don't eat anything. Well, you can have a couple of grapes, but only the small ones.
Well done. I look forward to the beautiful reunion. These bare shelves are actually rather convenient. Less washing up.
Here's your violin, Mr. Jones. It might have gained a few nicks and scratches, but considering what it's been through, it's a miracle that it's still in one piece.
God bless you. I am deeply in your debt, Mr. Holmes. The scratches don't matter. They are like scars, each telling a story. It is the sound that matters. Oh, you should hear her sing.
It would be my pleasure.
This melody, Sherlock. Don't you recognize it? Look up, Sherry. There used to be an attic up there. We used to sneak in from the roof and listen to Mr. Jones play when we were children. You should tell the old man the truth. I think it will mean a lot to him.
Bravo! I'd forgotten how beautiful a violin sounds in the skilled hands of a virtuoso. That, melody, it brought back some memories. I have a confession to make, Mr. Jones. As a child, I used to sneak into the attic above this very room and listen to you play. Spellbound by the music.
Oh, so that was you. After my wife's death, it was difficult to pick up the violin again. But knowing someone was listening helped me persevere. In fact, a young man like yourself could breathe a second life into this instrument. It's a remarkable outlet for one's emotion. You should have it.
I can't accept that. And, oh, I don't play.
It's never too late to learn, Mr. Holmes. The way I see it, the violin chose you. Take good care of her.
Sherry, I'm really glad we helped him.
I hope you'll enjoy playing it as much as I did.